Hello, hello. It's Coyote Christina, surfer, author, dream weaver. We are starting week 3 of the Amazed and Amused campaign. It's Sunday, so we're just going to do a summary. I'll do a summary of kind of what we covered last week, very brief, and then an overview of what's coming for week 3. Hope you guys had a good week. Looking forward to hearing from you. I'm hoping to start some discussion as more people learn about the campaign. I've mainly just been posting and I haven't been getting the marketing out, but I did finally post my initial reel from the start of the campaign, so welcome to anyone who's new. And let's see, so last week was week 2 of the campaign, and we covered the initiation stage, which is the stage of the journey, which basically is where we let ourselves feel the pain that we've been avoiding. So it's loss and acceptance. The animal guides for this stage that we went over and talked about some last week were frog, rabbit, deer, and bat. It's really about once we admit that we have this pain that we've been pushing away, maybe it was too much for us at a certain time to deal with, especially childhood trauma, and now it's coming back up. So it's just learning to sit with it, and that's what first rabbit is the one who makes us aware of the fear, and rabbit's medicine is fear, which most of the time you think fear is a bad thing, but fear is not always a bad thing. Fear is something that keeps us alive, so we just have to distinguish between the fears that are keeping us alive and the fears that are keeping us from living. And then the skill set that we want to develop during the initiation stage and have our animal guides are one thing, at least they helped me and motivated me and inspired me to give myself permission to feel my feels, as well as to take up space in the world. So big girls don't cry, boys don't cry. A lot of us grew up in families where negative feelings especially, were not allowed. So we shut our feelings away, and when we shut away our feelings, we're shutting away one of the most vital parts of ourselves to help us interact with the world. And when those emotions come back up, then though, we have to learn to recognize when they're old feelings, and can we believe the story that we've created around those feelings, or do we need to separate the feelings from the stories? So that was what we did, and that's our second chakra, our sacral chakra, located just below, like in our pelvis area. And then the taking up space, so when we're afraid, we make ourselves small, we try to avoid, instead of taking up the space that we have a right to, the whole first chakra, right to be. It's hard in our society sometimes because we're constantly told we have to do and go to be worthy of taking up space. And so it's learning, like, you know what, it's okay sometimes to do absolutely nothing. And it's amazing because our body heals and replenishes itself when we relax, not necessarily when we sleep. Like, we need to get our sleep, that's one of our basic needs, but the science behind yoga nidra, deep rest, is showing that when we rest, when we're fully conscious but we're fully relaxed, relaxing our bodies, relaxing our mind, that is a state that helps our bodies heal and restore and rejuvenate. So it's really important. We feel like we're doing nothing, but we're actually giving our body the time and peace that it needs to heal itself. So the skill sets, once again, the permission to feel, and then the ability or the permission to take up space. And we do this by grounding ourselves and standing still, instead of running away from or looking for distractions. And then we also, it's the same cure, to honor our feelings. We have to stand still and not run away from our feelings. no longer fearing or avoiding painful emotions, but rather learning to be a witness to our own experience. So it's kind of an overview or a summary of what we did last week. Now we're going to move into the realization stage of the journey. This is where we hold ourselves radically accountable for our lives, who we are and where we are, with no blaming. We don't blame other people and we don't blame ourselves. We just accept that this has happened, this is what is. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't have a power to put myself in this position, but that's not so important. What's important moving forward is how do I move to a place where I want to be from where I am right now. So taking ownership of where we are is the main theme of the realization stage. The skill set is to hold ourselves radically accountable for our lives. Once again, where we're not blaming others and we're not making excuses. There's reasons in life, there aren't excuses. Life happens. But once again, there's no excuses. Goals are a healthy ego, a balanced sense of self that is housed in our third chakra. We're going to move up to our third chakra, which is located in our solar plexus, behind our belly button, as well as to our fourth chakra, which is our social identity and our social interaction, and where we learn to trust and build relationships. And let's see, so we're going to build awareness to a level where we're making conscious choices and taking knowledgeable action in the present moment that builds our integrity by aligning our action with our inner truth. And by conscious choices, it's instead of that avoidance and that knee-jerk reaction, we're becoming more aware and realizing that maybe some of the things that we do are just habits and patterns that have formed, and really questioning those. And is this healthy? Is this taking me where I want to be, or do I need to change this? Second goal of the realization stage is to build the courage to walk into the unknown. Once again, this is the third chakra, confidence, as well as the fourth chakra, trust. And basically it's building our faith. And it's not faith in something in particular or in this absolute that's solid, but it's the faith in the unknown, the faith in taking a step towards where you want to go without knowing what's going to happen. Or maybe you just know that you need to go in this direction and you're not sure what the outcome is going to be. But following what your heart's telling you and your deepest desires, to walk boldly into the unknown. And let's see, and the third goal for the realization stage is identify and let go of old ways of being based in fear and survival, the avoidance and distraction, a need to escape. When we let go of these old ways, it opens the space for new ways of being and relating. And we do this by becoming more and more present in the moment with a strong balanced third and fourth chakra on top of the first and second chakras that we've strengthened in the initial stage, in the initiation stage. And when we have a strong third and fourth chakra, then we can manage any fear coming out of our root chakra and any feelings and sensations coming out of our sacral chakra. So I'm just going to read a little bit from Amazed and Amused about the realization stage. As we transition from avoiding and denying in the initiation stage, and we feel the pain of loss and become curious about it instead of avoiding it, we transition from the initiation stage into the realization stage. As we stumble upon new discoveries on the inner path, our awareness builds. Exploring our inner world allows us to begin to feel our energy move from the root and sacral chakras located at the base of our torso and in the pelvic area into our solar plexus chakra that is located behind the navel, the torso's center. The pain of loss often takes us back to the first chakra demon of fear, and we can feel threatened. If this threat is strong enough, the fear will activate very strong emotions and cause an excess of activity in the second chakra. And to progress on our journey and address these feelings of fear in healthy ways, we need to learn to pull these feelings up into our third chakra, the solar plexus chakra, where we can be held, where they can be held and contained in healthy ways. There are several animal guides that can help us build a strong third chakra and allow us to sit with powerful emotions without being overwhelmed. These animal guides can illuminate our way during the realization stage of the journey. During the conscious choice section of this stage, blue heron, snake, raven, salmon, and jaguar guide our way. Then elk, porcupine, grouse, antelope, and black panther teach us how to build our faith, and then during the next section of the journey. And by the end of the realization stage, turtle, mountain lion, armadillo, and prairie dog join us and help reduce the unnecessary drama in our lives. At the edge of consciousness is where a fated life ends and destiny begins. As we build our awareness, we learn to make conscious choices that are healthy and based in the here and now. We learn to move away from the biological and physiological impulses that push us to react. Only through building our self-awareness do we raise our consciousness and become able to move away from the emotional history embedded in our sinew. So that's a little excerpt from Amazed and Amused and Often Confused. Would love if you have time, or if you're so inspired, if you're really enjoying some of the readings, you can be one of the first to own a copy if you go to tkcdreams.net. At the top of the page, there's a ribbon that you can purchase per pre-sale. It just takes you to the free events page of the website, and then you hit on choose the Amazed and Amused campaign, and that pulls up where you can purchase your own copy. So thanks so much for being here tonight. Hope you're doing well, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow is Movement Monday, so we'll have a new yoga pose and a new breathing exercise for the week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.